Hi guys, and welcome back to another movie review. So this one is for yet another kind of newish one. It's from last year. What is the streak that I am on lately of actually watching kind of modern films? Oh my god. So this one is for Don't Worry Darling. Yes, the one with Harry Styles in it. Deal with it. And side note that has nothing to do with the movie, before any of my usual subscribers panic, no, I did not chop the hair. It's all very much still here. It's wet. It's air drying. I always pull it back if it's air drying. So, for those who are not my regulars, you don't understand. My subscribers panic if I have my hair pulled back and I don't specify that I didn't chop it. Anyway, back to the movie at hand. When this came out, it was around the same time as the Elvis biopic, which I also just reviewed. And I kind of forgot about this one, but they were both side by side on streaming. So I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to see that too. So I'm finally going to do that. So I literally did like a double feature kind of thing. But anyway, back when this came out, my sister went and saw it in the theater. She actually saw both movies in the theater, and she thought the Elvis biopic sucked, which I respectfully disagree. And then this one, she said, well, I liked it, but I don't think you would like it. It doesn't seem like your kind of movie. And now that I've seen it, I am just questioning her logic on all of the things. I'm like, do you understand what kind of movies I like, child? Because honestly, this is like exactly the kind of movie I enjoy. It's like a very much kind of sci-fi, kind of 50s nostalgia, total mindfuck kind of movie, for lack of a better way of putting it. It's like, in a nutshell, Stepford Wives meets Vanilla Sky is the best way I can describe this movie. Now, did I realize going in that that's what it was? No. Initially, it just seems like a very 50s-esque utopian society, like just perfect neighborhood, perfect lives, perfect everything. But you immediately just have a sense that something is not as it seems. There would be no movie here if it were. Like, there is something beneath the surface here that we're not saying. What is it? And the more it goes on, you start getting little inklings here and there, more and more and more, and you start to be able to connect the dots. But it took a plot twist in a way I did not see coming. Um, Spoilers big time. Basically, the main character, like, she always has like these house parties and everything because, 50s society. But this one chick that she's neighbors with wandered out into the desert with her son. And this is like the one thing they are told not to do. You are to stay within the confines of this community where you are safe. None of them really know 100% what it is their husbands do for work. They just know it's important work. But the one wanders off. And when she comes back, her son is gone. And she's insisting how she saw things that they didn't want her to see, and that they took her son away from her as punishment for doing it. And because she's going slowly more and more insane for knowing what she knows now, they eventually have to silence her. And yes, it means exactly what you think it means. So the main character, she eventually sees something. She sees a plane crash in the distance. There's typically not even planes in this area, much less plane crashes. So she's freaking out. She wants to investigate. No one wants to go investigate because it's outside the perimeter of the town. Like, no can do. And she's like, yeah, screw that. They might need help. And she wanders out. Tries to find the plane, doesn't find the plane. But she finds the headquarters of this place. Mm-hmm. And she sees things and suddenly realizes that all is not as it seems here. And that they've been lying to them all. It's kind of like they're living in the Matrix a little bit. But So she's not 100% sure what's going on. And even as a viewer, we're not sure 100% what it is that's going on until one scene that shows a blip of her in the real world. This is not the real world. Spoiler. And her real life and how miserable it was before throwing her back into this again. Um, it turns out this is all some simulation. Yeah, and the husbands had to sign all kinds of waivers that they are responsible for their wives in this simulation, have to sign away all their rights, all this everything. There's a lot that goes with it. But as such, um, it she figures out that wait, so if that's the case, that means all the wives are trapped here then. Basically, yeah. Yeah. Everything is an illusion because it's an escape from the real world to create a perfect one because the real world sucks so hard. He thinks he's doing her a favor by putting her in there, even though she had no idea that he had done so. So she's obviously upset about it, and she kind of more or less accidentally kills him, and in doing so, her best friend accidentally finds out about it and just like, oh my god, you have to run. Because if one of the husbands dies in the simulation, he dies in the real world. And if your husband dies, they will kill you in the real world. It's like, oh, they ain't fucking around in this place. Oh boy. Oh boy. So then it's just a race to the finish to see can she escape? And it's a vague enough ending too. To where you can draw your own conclusions. Did she or didn't she? We'll never know for sure. But like even within the simulation, as she's finding out too much, she is punished within the simulation with like electroshock therapy to try to shock it out of her, to erase her memory. Like it's very 50s-esque in that regard too. But that is like the first glimmers we get of wait, this isn't real. None of this is real. What the hell? But then it makes you wonder, wait, did they do the shock therapy in real life to her for figuring out too much as well as in the simulation? There's a lot of questions that are left up in the air with this thing, and I feel like I could totally rewatch this movie a bunch of times over and like notice different things and come to different conclusions, kind of like Vanilla Sky, which is one of my favorite mindfuck movies of all time. So, I personally, as somebody who really enjoys that kind of genre of movie, I really, really enjoyed this. I would give it a total 5-star rating. I was surprised at how much I liked it for who all's in it. I didn't. Well, it's not that I actively dislike anyone that was in it, but it just the particular people in it were so unexpected for me personally to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this thing with like Harry Styles of all people in it, and like Florence Pugh and Nick Kroll. Like I swear he shows up everywhere. Just like the most random Dita Von Teese, super random cast of characters. There's more of them too. Like pull it up on IMDb, but um, it's very interesting though. A little bit of it's I don't know that I would necessarily call it psychological horror. Psychological, yes. Horror's up for debate. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I would call it more psychological thriller personally. Um, but if you like the kind of like trippy mindfuck kind of movies, you'd probably really appreciate this. And if you're also a fan of like 1950s aesthetic and just general genre, I think you'll also like it because they really nailed it a lot. But there was little inklings even within that that just like gave me little tip offs that may or may not have been intentional fairly early on where I was like, if this is the 50s, I don't think that was a thing in the 50s. There's little things like that that are like so subtle, but at the same time, it starts your mind going and thinking about it and realizing stuff with it, and just like, oh, okay, okay, I am here for this. All right, but yeah, I really liked it. So if you haven't seen it, but you like that kind of movie, and we're maybe on the fence because of who's in it, look past that. Just watch it anyway. I'm pretty sure you will thank me later for it. So anyway, that is it for this one, guys. So as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload, leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.